Welcome to the Native Business Development Center of the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of Wisconsin and First American Capital Corp. Here you will find a host of resources to help you start a new business, expand your current business, and achieve your business goals. Legal and tax issues.
Hello, greetings to you. My name is Samantha Skenandore, and I'm Senior Counsel here at Husch Blackwell offices in Madison, Wisconsin. We have clients that have been certified as minority businesses, disadvantaged businesses, small business certifications, women-owned businesses. These sorts of certifications are very, very important, especially for startup businesses that have capacity and need capacity to grow. If the choice is to do a startup business, it's very important to weigh these factors in any particular industry that you're working in. If there is an offering of a certification that a tribe might be eligible for, it may be important to pick a business entity type and to seat your board accordingly and have your corporate governance say that you are able to meet the eligibility requirements to be seen or qualify and be certified as a minority, disadvantaged, or a small business entity. So those are important certifications to consider when you start up and create your business. The first entity that I wanted to introduce to you is the state-chartered tribal corporations. And this means that you follow the state laws in whatever state you're located in to create a business entity. A lot of tribes only take this option when it's the type of industry that really needs to attract outside businesses, outside customers and clients. And this, of course, these rules in these states for creating new business entities in states, they're typically very old laws. Most people are familiar with them. If you're a company in any particular state, you're usually familiar with the basic rules and the regulations. And they're very, very easy to create. The biggest pro, of course, then is just what I said. The investors, lenders, and the partners are very confident in the business. If they know it's a state-run LLC, they know the limits of the LLC law, they know their rights to court, they know the enforcement of their contracts is going to be fair and equitable, and they're more apt to doing business with you when you have that clear, transparent rule out there for them and their own attorneys to vet and see if it's worth doing business with this tribe or not. The cons, of course, is that if you do acquiesce to state law as a business entity, then of course you subject yourself to certain jurisdictional problems. And you as a business company, whether or not you're owned by a tribe, you may have sovereign immunity hurdles. There are, of course, outcomes throughout Indian country and United States otherwise, that say that there are challenges to sovereign immunity, that just because a tribe owns this business doesn't mean it's absolutely exempt from being sued. So we have to pay attention to this checkerboard jurisdiction of the sovereign immunity hurdles that these state-chartered corporations can bring on. And in this case too, if the federal government sees, and when I say the federal government, I mean the IRS, when they look at the tribes that are choosing to have state-chartered corporations, then they typically impose a federal tax liability because they see you not as a part of the tribe anymore. They see you becoming a private entity, just like anybody else, running a state company that should not enjoy the benefits of that tribal political status. They also the federal government restricts these state-chartered companies from using bonds for any of their economic development. So there is that restriction and that little benefit that tribes have being a federally chartered corporation or being a tribally chartered corporation that doesn't apply when the tribe chooses to be a state-chartered entity. The other thing that, again, I mentioned earlier is you may choose a certain type of industry that has preference in contracting. And there's preference in doing business on different levels. For example, a tribe may have passed its own Indian preference law, which means that it chooses to hire the human capital, so the employees pool that actually makes the tribe function every day. They may choose to hire the tribal members from their own tribe first. They may choose to hire tribal members from other tribes second. They may choose to hire spouses of enrolled tribal members just to invest in that family unit. Third, they may not have these policies at all, but there may be an Indian preference policy, and it may be very important to the tribe and the tribal council, governing body, that this business entity also consider those types of preference laws, maybe in their hiring or maybe in their practice of hiring subcontractors or business partners. So these are things we need to be aware of when we look at new businesses. Also, there is a federal law called the Buy Indian Act, which allows the Department of Interior to do business with preferred Indian-owned entities. So if there's an opportunity that your business actually has a product or service that falls within the Buy Indian Act and it's budgeted and they can contract with you, you'd be a preferred vendor, certainly explore that option as well. Likewise, tribes often adopt a code, a tribal ordinance called the TERO ordinance, the Tribal Employment Rights Ordinance. And that again is an Indian preference ordinance of their preference in hiring. Sometimes, whether it's the home tribe or if you're looking to do business with other tribes, you may be able to look at the other tribe's laws on whether they have a TERO, if your firm or company qualifies as a TERO firm or another Indian-owned firm where it might get some sort of preference in contracting or doing business. Definitely explore all of your options of where you'd have a leg up in bringing money in the door. Again, those are typically found in state and local government opportunities and also federal contracting opportunities, and they're classified sometimes as minority-owned businesses, disadvantaged business entity units, small business units or certifications. So all of these explorations into these different programs are very, very important for any business to see where you fall and if you have a leg up in getting some work in the door with reducing your costs, of course. One other avenue that has been very feasible for some of our tribal clients is networking throughout Indian country. So attending conferences or reaching out to some of these economic development, the Contractors Association, some of the gaming groups. If you attend some of these conferences and these economic development forums, you may meet some potential partners you wouldn't otherwise know about. Tribes are not typically very open and transparent about the nature of their businesses online. So if you did online research, 9 times out of 10, it's certainly not everything out there that you could probably find. So it's good to go to these conferences. We are a people-based type of people out there where it's important to have open communications, face-to-face dialogue, and share ideas about new businesses that are coming through the pipeline, whether they're small scale or large scale. Obviously, doing business with other tribes, they understand you, they understand your challenges and your obstacles, and they're also more comfortable with doing business in Indian country more than the non-tribal vendors. So consider networking and continuing your network, strengthening that network, and hopefully you'll be making money in no time. Thank you.
The Native Business Development Center was developed by the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of Wisconsin and First American Capital Corp., who along with their sponsors and financial partners are committed to helping Native businesses in Wisconsin grow and thrive. Visit our website to get started today.